just in the... Oh, hold on 1 second.
Welcome to Monday night tea time.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, slow down.
No. Hi, Annie. Little
Hi.
homestead by the beach.
Hello. I'm just gonna...
Mudbrooker's in here.
Hello.
That's a goat.
Oh, our thumbnail. You didn't see the thumbnail.
I see.
I'm not a veterinarian, but I'm fairly sure that is a goat. It is a very pregnant goat that keeps fooling us. Hello, Patrick.
Who's staring at me? It's kind of creepy.
She is. She's laying on a chair right by the fire.
Yes. So no baby goats as of yet, other than the two recent previous ones.
Yes. I'm pretty sure she's due on April 4th. So I'm pretty sure, like, she's showing all the classic signs. And I was just out there with her, and she wasn't getting up and moving, and
she had her eyes closed. I think she was going through a contraction.
Yeah, so I'm 99.9% sure she's in early labor, so it might be a long night. The last time she had twins, so we were new because she was the first one to ever have goat babies for us.
Yep.
And so we only had them for like less than a year. And so I Googled everything, watched a lot of, if you guys are interested in goats, there's a channel. It's called Blue Cactus Dairy Goats.
Yes.
Amazing. Even though a lot of the stuff we don't have here, she explains a lot. So you know kind of what you're looking for, but amazing channel for goats. And so anyways, I binged watched her and knew all the signs. And so if their ligaments are no longer there, which you have to feel for them down their tail and spine, then they should have a baby or babies within 12 hours. And so I did feel Miss B, and she's like, I can almost pinch right around her spine and touch my fingers. So she should go within the next 24 hours, but she's also been fooling us. She's also been fooling us, but I'm pretty sure I've been out there a few times with her today, and she has definitely, like, she wants to be pet and touched, and she starts closing her eyes, breathing heavy, and you can tell that she's going through something. So, so no new baby goats as of yet, but hopefully in the next 24 hours. I thought also that Mike changed a lot in a week.
And that was my picture as the baby goat.
Oh, oh yeah, because it was to the mud broker.
Nah.
No. We were a couple minutes late because I realized, well, Mike was making a tea, but I realized I forgot to put it on the clear connection on our cell data.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or it was on our Wi-Fi, which you guys would have just seen a bunch of dots. Hello, Mama. See? Inside voice, Michael. Inside voice.
It's my house.
Bonjour, hi. I almost wanted to say hello, hi.
Why not?
Oh no, it's an inside joke with one of my besties. She always like hello, hi. So,
ooh.
Oh, hello, Ethan. How are you?
Peppermint in there.
You put peppermint in your tea?
I did as well.
Ooh.
Yes, it was a little much.
Hey, Chrissy.
Hey, Ethan.
Hello, Papa Bear.
Hey, Dad. How you doing tonight? I'm so glad he gets to stop in and spend some time with us.
Very much. What was I gonna say? Other than baby watch, which I'm hoping she has them tonight, because we have somewhere we have to be tomorrow. Do you want to tell them where?
We are going to pick out windows and doors.
And they're in stock. So it's a clearance place that we found in Ottawa, and we're going to go travel. It takes about an hour and 45 minutes to get there. Obviously, if B is in, strong labor or showing even more signs, I'm not going to go and I'll stay back. But yes, hopefully she either has them tonight so I can be part of picking out our windows. I'm excited because guess what that means? That means the build is
back on,
just like a hockey game. Yes, because if we have the windows, then we can frame out, square them away in the main floor where we've already cut out some small holes. They're not as big as the windows are going to be. But we can also frame out the rest of the upstairs.
Yep.
And then once that's done, we can finish the roof once we get the roofing material.
Well, we can also frame out the walls for upstairs for the bedrooms.
Yes, didn't I say that?
Well, I thought you said frame out upstairs. I thought you meant the sides where the windows were going.
Oh, okay.
That's why I haven't framed those out where the peak of the roof is in that triangle. I haven't framed that out because I don't know what size windows we're putting in.
Yes. Cheap ones.
Yes.
Discounted windows. There was another place. I couldn't find it, though. A friend had recommended it in Kingston, which is a little bit closer. But I couldn't find the name of it, and I searched high and low. So I think the friend is watching. So if you could message me if you remember the name of that place in Kingston, that would be yes. So windows tomorrow. Goat doors. Babies. Oh, and doors hopefully tomorrow too.
7 windows, 3 doors.
I think we should pick up I think we should pick up an extra window though.
Oh yeah?
Because I want one in the living room. Because right now all we have for the living room is we're gonna get they're kind of like French doors, but a singleton. And so it's gonna be mostly glass. So, we'll have that at the back to go outside the back door. Then we'll have the side window where the greenhouse is going to go, or a door that's like a window. And then we'll have the kitchen window. But if we add another window into the living room, it'll just be that much brighter.
We have those 2 or 3 windows up the top too, though.
That's true. So maybe we should check on them before
That's a good idea.
We go out there, because who knows? Look at me being smarticles.
All smart and stuff.
Frugal. It's more like frugal. Let me see here. Oh, Remy just popped in. Hello, Remy. Amanda, hello. Oh, you got to do it. Crucie's asking for it.
Welcome to Monday Night Live.
Whoever thought that when you did that once, it would become a thing, eh?
You get excited, you overdo something.
Right? I remember too when we were at the other cabin and we first went live. I think you did it on our very first live. And I was like, oh my gosh, no. And now it's just a thing.
Well, it's one of those things.
I was so nervous, right?
It's one of those things where when I go into something like that in like wrestling and baseball, any sports, and even into like when you're going into PT and in the military, you're always trying to psych yourself up, get that energy flowing, right?
Yeah.
And that's just kind of carried over. It's always been one of those things. You start ramping it up, and my inner macho man comes out.
Now, see, that's a song I can get down with.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
And do you remember I don't know if was it his princess? I don't know. He called
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, yes.
Yeah. Did you know that she was actually with Hulk Hogan for a bit too?
I believe I remember she was like the girl that held the ropes for him at one time.
I think that.
But I think Macho Man and Elizabeth were actually married.
Yes, but yes. I think it started off. It's all drama back in the day, but I think it started off with Elizabeth and Hulk Hogan were together, and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man were partners, and then she ended up going over to Macho Man, and then that caused them to break up their friendship, and then they became kind of enemies.
In the fake world. Yeah.
I was. I used to pick. Oh yeah. And I used to pick up like they had.
I think I was embarrassed of you like Monday Night Live.
I used to pick up the wrestling magazines as a kid. They had the WWF magazines and stuff. I don't know what they were called. No, but I used to pick them up. I was totally into the stories and everything.
Yeah, I remember. I think I've said this. I think I said this on our first live when you did this. If not, it was one shortly after. We went to. My dad took us to a WWF. It was back in the day.
Yep.
And took us to a WWF, and then I remember I was so excited, which I don't know why, because looking back, I barely remember them. I was so excited to see the British Bulldogs. But they were in one of them, or I think just one of them, were in a boating accident, and so the Bumblebees took their place, and I was like, I just wanted to see the British Bulldogs. That's all I wanted to see. I didn't care about Hulk Hogan or anything like that. I wanted to see the British Bulldogs.
The other ones I always got a kick out of?
Probably a teenage crush or something. What?
The ones I always got a kick out of were the oh, no, I can't think of them. I can see them come out and they'd go. They were brothers. Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers?
The Bushwhackers.
I don't think
nuts.
I was into wrestling at that time, but I do remember them. Like when I was a little kid, into like 10 or 11, I think, is when I was really like, yeah. If not, I was then at the same time, I was also into baseball. And I absolutely love the Toronto Blue Jays. And my favorite Toronto Blue Jay.
Who's your favorite?
I look back and I'm like, no wonder I had a hard time with like.
Come on. You started it.
He was a third baseman, Kelly Gruber.
Kelly Gruber.
He was, what was I thinking?
You know, my
Everything
favorite.
In hindsight. Hey, Wilderstead.
My favorite was Alan Trammell.
Huh?
He was on the Detroit Tigers.
Don't know.
Sparky Anderson.
I also
era.
like the back catcher. Pat something. I want to say McNeil, but it's not.
No clue.
But Pat, he was the back catcher, and I used to like him too. Crucie's brother lives in Kingston. Nice. My daughter used to live in Kingston.
I think that hot plate that
oh yes, Amanda won the very gracious giveaway from Mr. Mud because I was gonna say his name wrong again. Brooker.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he said that his mom made that hot plate.
I think that's what he said. Plate, yes,
which is super cool.
No, didn't he say grandma? Let us know.
Yeah, I thought he said mom. I don't know.
Hey, Ram. My work is in Kingston. Nice. We have our daughter used to live in Kingston.
Yep.
And where is she now? She's in Belleville.
Belleville, yes.
Oh, did I say Marilyn? Did I miss Marilyn?
I think you mentioned her, did you?
No, yes, I did. If I didn't, our Sometimers is really bad these last like couple of weeks. It's probably because we're doing a lot of the like day-to-day chores and day-to-day stuff, and we're doing our seeds and stuff, but we're not doing anything like, when you wake up and you got to go to work and you have that purpose, and there hasn't been that purpose been a whole there. Lot so it's searching. Like everything's blending together. Yeah. A lot of searching. So it's
a lot of online stuff we've been doing.
Yes.
So and that just kind of like beats you down, and you get especially when
that's okay because the windows though are gonna woohoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Billy Lee is here too. Hello. Macho was my fave until Razor Ramon kicked Shawn Michaels'
ass
every
time. Yes.
And I remember
Razor Ramon. I forgot that dude. That was awesome.
Oh my goodness, bringing back the good old days. I love the Road Warriors.
Oh,
I don't remember them.
You know who I remember? The Ultimate Warrior.
That sounds so familiar. My nephew used to love The Undertaker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And when he was
the choke slam.
No, maybe that was my sister. That was the best. It explains a lot though. My nephew used to love, and he probably still does, John Cena. And so every time I'd see him, we have this little thing. He'd come up and he'd pinch me, and then he'd run away and be like, "Oh, so sorry." But anyways, and then he'd come up to me and be like, "You can't see me." That's John Cena, right?
I know. Okay. He was like,
you can't see me.
You have Andre the Giant. Oh my God, that's so awesome.
He was in the AWA.
Did you?
Wow.
There's a documentary out on Andre the Giant, and it's just incredible. like the stuff that he did and the stuff that he went through.
So showy, Ben. I don't even know what to call it. That's match, program. Yes. What would you call the entire, like, it used to come on once a week for like an hour. TV wrestling show, match? Wrestling match. Well, yeah, it was a match individually, but what was it as a whole?
I don't remember.
I don't know either.
You know what I do remember? Showing up at my buddy's place because his dad was working at GM at the time. And so his dad had GM money. Him. And they would always pay for the pay-per-view for what was that?
Oh, they were like, I know what you're talking about.
Like the Super Bowl of wrestling at the time.
What is it's still the same thing. It's super something.
No. I can't remember what. I just remember showing up and we'd get all riled up and be throwing pillows and stuff like we're wrestling off the couch. And his dad would be in the lazy boy, like right in the middle, like an island of snores. Just crashed out.
Crucy said, I saw some live WWF matches in Montreal with Jake the Snake.
Yes.
And Andre the Giant. I remember Andre.
Yes.
Yep. And it was Mudbrooker's mom, Ma. Both of us said hello to her. See that sometimes?
Said hello to who?
It's okay. Somebody messaged me today and said, you wanted my contact information? And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I remember saying that. I just don't remember why. And they couldn't either. So it was kind of cute. That's cool about getting the autograph. Yeah.
That is really cool.
The guy called Razorman died a few days ago.
Wow.
I don't remember Razorman.
Razor Ramon.
Razor. I see.
Razorman. We call them Bic for short.
Tatanka was my fave. I've heard of that. That's more of a newer, I think. Isn't it? Tatanka. Like more in the early 2000s.
The only thing I can think of when I hear Tatanka.
It's Tatanka.
Tatanka.
No, okay.
No, just it's off of the Kevin Costner movie.
So Dave is gonna show Amanda the WWF and WWE tonight, and they're gonna be immersed in it. Yes. Next time she comes and sees a live, she's gonna be like, now I get like the Monday Night Live. And there was something to it back in the day, but I don't have any interest in watching it now. Right now, this is my mom, so my nephew is pitching at his game, but still loves wrestling. I'm assuming Rumble. She meant. The World no, never mind. It almost came to me. Mm-hmm. Like what the big match, the Super Bowl.
I forget. How is it I forgot? I got the Sometimers hard. I just remember that guy he'd start off the match like, let's get ready to rumble. Yeah. And that was a big thing.
I'm still trying to think.
He's pitching at his game.
Yes,
that's cool.
My nephew. Oh crud! I was gonna say
Dances with Wolves. See, Amanda remembered. Tatanka, Buffalo.
Yes, that went right over my head. I'm more of a hands-on kind of person, and I don't remember movies. Even my favorite movies. I don't think I remember lines, right? If you were to say to me, because my 3 favorite movies are Twister, Walk the Line, and Cinderella Man. And so ask me a line, I couldn't tell you.
Food.
Okay. I do remember that one now that you've said it, but me to think of it on my own, I don't remember it, and I don't know why.
Cows. We got cows.
Yep. Sisters. Now that you've started my brain process, now it can go back into the movie bank and be like, oh yeah. I was gonna say though, my nephew, he's not quite a teenager yet. He has been playing he lives in Florida, and he's been playing baseball, and I'll just say he's pretty darn good.
He's wicked good, yo.
I was gonna say wicked wicked good.
Wicked good, yo.
He is. He's really good. And I think he might be a player one day. So
I'd love to just be able to go to the stadium and see him play. That would be awesome.
Yep. Amanda's like, nope, no thank you.
Dave's gonna be standing on the couch throwing the cushions at her. It's a chair match. Rage in the cage.
Indian sort of dude. Oh yeah. Dances with wolves. Yep. I used to play wrestling with my brother. Only rule was no items. He would do Tatanka's dance and I would hit him in the back as hard as I could, and the bastard would keep dancing. WrestleMania!
Yes. Thanks, Mud.
I'm like, it was at the tip of my tongue. Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Yeah, I remember him too. Ed McMahon.
The Junkyard Dog.
Yep. Oh, Marcy's here. Hello, hello.
My grandfather looked like Ed McMahon.
Good memories. Yes, he did.
He did.
Do you have that photo where he looks like you?
I do, but it's packed away.
No, like on your phone. Didn't you put it?
It was 2 phones ago.
So looking at Mike's grandfather, who's no longer with us, but Mike's grandfather and Mike, you would not even see any similarities as an older man and Mike as, his age. 0 similarities. The guy is like, how tall was he? 6'2"?
Like 6'2", 250 pounds, something like that.
Yeah. And you can't see nothing that looks the same on each other.
Nope.
But he got a hold of a photo of when his grandfather was 15 or 16, around there.
Something like that, I think. Yeah.
And they look like spitting image. It's crazy. So now, other than the 6'2" and the bigger build, I know what I'm gonna have as a senior. I'm still here.
Fair enough.
My dad would do that, Mike, with the hands as horns and chase me around as a kid yelling that.
That's awesome.
JYD. Who was that?
The Junkyard Dog.
Yes. How did I... See, you had to start.
Remember those old wrestling dolls? They were like all rubber. They were like this tall. I had the Junkyard Dog. I had Andre the Giant, and I had.
We still have one. That big tall guy. He was wearing a black shirt and red shorts or something. Dark hair. We still have one.
Which one was that?
I don't know, but we still have one of your toys.
I forgot. That's crazy.
Tabitha's here as well. Hello, hello. We have Thorhaven in the house.
Hey, Darren. It's Monday Night Live.
We are still waiting on babies.
Yes. Which is hilarious. I look out there and we've got these like lounge chairs that were in here, and we've kicked them out because they were just outside and we wanted to make more room, and then they got kind of trashed.
Right.
Now the goats lay down on them. Like chilled out, relaxed, like they're
watching the fire.
Yeah, just watching the fire.
They have a life. Those chairs are no longer usable for humans, but that's okay. That's okay. We had to do something quick on the fly, and it is what it is. And
yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
Things are meant to be used. If they're not used, then they're not worth,
They're definitely used now.
The cats shredded the one side.
Yes, the cats shredded them. The goats lay on them.
It's a wreck, but whatever.
It was so cute the other day. It wasn't the best photo, but I grabbed a picture of mom laying on the chair, and the 2 babies were playing around, and she was just watching the fire. And I'm like, that goat's got it good.
Oh yeah,
they got it good right now, and they love, like, absolutely. I'm surprised how much they love this fire. I understand they want to, swarm to heat, keep warm, but they will be like 2 inches from it and just stand there. And I'm like, how are you not on fire?
The fur gets singed a bit and stuff, and like they ended up, their tail was like really close once. And I was watching, like, you're a little close to that, little buddy. You're a little close. And all of a sudden, you see the tail start wagging, and then he moves away, like, whoa! You ever stand in front of a fire, and then your pants get, like, really hot
all of a sudden? Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, they're hot, and you got to move away. I think that's what he had there for a moment. It was kind of cool. I'm watching him. I told you. Yeah. I told you.
I'm pretty sure like right now, even she's laying there, and you know, she was coming in at night, Miss Mama to be. She was coming in at night in case she had the babies. We didn't want her outside, but during the day she caused so much ruckus inside the barn, so we just let her go out. And the last 2 days has completely changed personality, which is something they do close to delivery. And but she's been fooling us for like the last 3 days.
Yeah, we kept thinking, no, tonight's the night for sure.
Yeah, tonight's the night, and all the telltale signs are there, even as much as like her I was saying this at the beginning of the live, but her ligaments, they are like, I could touch my fingers almost when I pinch between her tail. Not that everybody wants to hear this, but she was also having some discharge yesterday, so that can happen up to a month before she can start doing that. But when it gets to a certain color and texture, that usually means birth is imminent. And so she had that yesterday, like not imminent, but within the next 24 hours kind of thing. And so she had that yesterday. I could feel like in between her spine, I could feel my fingers. So her ligaments are no longer there. She was breathing heavy, but she's not completely, like, she's not in hard labor yet. So but looking at her now, like when we used to go out of the trailer, she would automatically jump up and then she would just run somewhere. And then once she realized the dogs weren't coming out, she would then come to us. But the last few times going out, she just laid there. She didn't even care. She's like, you ain't bringing the dogs, right? So I'm hoping and hopeful it's tonight, but I've been hopeful for 2 nights now. So all of my cousins and I watched WWF all of the time with our gramps, 1980s and 90s. He was right into it. Yep. Those are some, I used to watch it with my sister all the time. Marilyn, everyone. Although I was watching Annie from Back to Basics Homestead, Bridget and Darren from Thorhaven were on there yesterday. And so then we got talking about goats. And I think she said they're getting Alpine. And so I sent her a picture of my one guy that will probably be up for sale. And it turns out that so Nigerian dwarf goats are mainly for milking because of their fat content, and they have bigger teats than a pygmy goat if you're going with the mini goats. Pygmy goats are mainly meat goats, but you still can use them for milk. It's just not as easy as the Nigerian dwarf. And so Nigerian dwarf are mainly for milking. But Alpines are milking goats as well. So now there's like a crossbreed between the Nigerian dwarf and the Alpine, and they have they're called mini Alpines, and they're highly sought after apparently from the few minutes of research that I did last night. So now I'm like, maybe we should get an Alpine because they might have a little bit bigger of teats. I don't know, but I don't know what an Alpine goat's milk tastes like either. I know what Nigerian dwarfs taste like.
Right.
But I don't know what an Alpine goat. And I know they have a higher fat content than other goats. So.
Well, I don't know.
But, yeah, they're Nigerian dwarf goats.
That is for later.
Yeah, that is, I just sprung it on you and you need some time to mull that one over.
Well, let me get past putting a roof on the house first. We'll start there.
How about let's build a proper goat shelter first?
Let me build the proper house first. Then we'll go to the proper goat house.
But while we're waiting in between for the house to be finished, like for example, if the roof doesn't come, we can't do anything more inside really, other than framing. So once that's done,
yeah,
can we then like build a proper goat barn?
Almost. I need the snow gone so I can like.
Very true.
I need a proper platform to do it on.
I remember when we first came onto this property.
Yeah.
You bought this really big tool that you drive around in, and I'm pretty sure it can push snow. I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, you can put that backhoe to work. Yep. Sorry. I forgot for a second there I was on a live. Pretty sure. Just saying.
Pretty sure.
Chilling like a villain. They are. I'm so excited about more lasagna. May 6th, I am going to recuperate my dignity, and I am not going to burn lasagna. And Darren is going to try the lasagna that is really good, even burnt, but not burnt.
The real deal, Holyfield.
I am going to redeem myself.
Redemption is at hand.
Is that a movie quote? You just thought of that without a movie behind
it? I'm sure that's been in a movie.
I'm not sure you can count it as a movie quote. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Marilyn. Don't forget to thumbs up, guys. It will help Mama Goat, I'm sure. I think it'll help the goat. If not for us, do it for the goat. No nap today, so I'm out. Love you. See you soon.
Good night, Pops. I love you.
Yes, Mr. Mike is planning a trip to Michigan in the next little bit. Who knows when? Yeah, I'm excited that you get to see Papa, but I'm also jealous that
I know
I don't get to see Papa.
I know.
I'll just have to give you a big kiss on the cheek to give to Papa. Angie said she would make the best lasagna ever, so you'd forgive her. Yes, please forgive me. Please, kind sir. You can have some more.
But she would make us work for it. Oh, the lasagna.
Oh, yeah. Why? Where's that? What?
Where was it? Wait.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Sorry for the dog issues. She would, yes, for that you need to work for food. I'm just kidding.
One tree, one bite. Maybe not that bad.
No, we're not gonna make you work. So Thor had to step away because of the dog last night. So Bridget was on, and so Annie said, so Thor said, sorry for the dog issues, and Annie said, no worries, I was able to chat with your better half. I just need more of that lasagna, Remy. It's so good. Wait till you try. Now, I don't know if you're making a mockery of it now. No, it is actually, I can't even take the full credit for it because my sister-in-law taught me how to make her sauce many moons ago. And I've revamped it, put some things in that I've liked, added a few things extra. And so the initial recipe came from my sister-in-law. And the secret ingredients, but you guys can't tell anybody, is honey. It's honey in lasagna.
Bridget wants to see the babies.
She's going to be the first person I text or message once the babies are born, unless it's midnight. I'll hold off till the morning. But yeah, I'm going to send her pictures of the goat babies. I'm hoping she has 3 in there. Last time she gave us 2 and she wasn't this big. And she, this time, is carrying, so before she was really round around the sides. Mm-hmm. And this time she's still really round around the sides, but it's up top more towards her neck. It's almost like there.
So you think she's got 3?
I'm hoping she has 3. And girls, all girls. Or if not a girl, 1 boy for somebody out there. Or 2 boys, yeah. Yep. Somebody. The weather got nice and cold and in anticipation for the birth, of course.
I know.
Like
next 3 days or something, it's like really cold.
Yeah. This will be the first. Did I talk about this already? I don't remember. I don't think I did. This will be the first birth that we're there from start to end, because with B the first time around, I said this in the beginning of the live. I know this part, but she was just showing some of the signs. We brought her into the front porch, gave her her own space. And then I checked on her. Mike and I were halfway through a movie after I checked on her. And all of a sudden she was like, nah. And by the time we went out there, she had already So she'd already pushed some of the head and hooves out. So she's very quiet throughout her labor. With Miss June, this time around, I went out to the barn, to the goat shed we have for them.
That's pretty funny.
And there was 2 babies there that were just born, and I had no idea. Like, she wasn't due yet. I know those babies were preemie. She wasn't due until later on in March. So, yeah. So she just popped those babies out, and then with her birth last time, same kind of thing with Miss B. She just, you could tell she was kind of a little bit in labor, and then she just started crying out. But yeah, so now we have like a front door. If you keep seeing us looking out, we can see the goats. So now we have like a front door. I can hear everything. 38 days, give or take. Oh, to the conference? 38 till the 5th and 40 to the 7th. You guys aren't counting down or nothing, eh? Are you up to date on the countdown? Goats. You know what's cool? I'll have a goat buddy. Bridget's I'm claiming it, Bridget. You're gonna be my goat buddy. Yes. I can tell you all of the things that Canada doesn't have that I know of right now, and all of the things that we've converted into from the States, between talking with my vet, talking with
Speaking of that, which when I go down, I could probably pick up a bunch of stuff.
That's very true. So you could probably get the like selenium paste. The paste instead of the injection.
Yeah.
I would have to order that shortly so it gets to your dad's in time.
Well, okie dokie. Looks like that's what you're doing tonight.
You're not going tomorrow.
Well, no, but if it takes like a week to get there, just in case.
But there's a lot of stuff like, I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here yet, Bridget, but I was saying earlier that if you want to learn a lot about goats, there's one channel. It's called Blue Cactus Dairy Goats. And she raises Nigerian dwarf, but she goes through everything. She has proper care. Like, I just love watching this girl.
Isn't she down in like Arizona or
somewhere like that? Yeah. Like, she's more in the desert, but she still gives you the basics. Like, they need copper, they need selenium, what to look for deficiencies, how she vaccinates them, how she shaves them, like everything. And she's one of those people where if you click on the video, what you want to see in a video, you're getting. So if you want to know all the little tips and tricks about shaving a goat, she puts everything you can think that you want to see into a video, and it's not too long. So I absolutely love watching her, and she is where most of my goat knowledge has come from, other than like vets. And even if I go to the feed stores, though, like not a lot of people know about goats. Actually, when I was first getting Aiden and Malcolm, I went to the goat store because they arrived a week early. The person called me and said, "Do you want to pick them up now? They're available." So I was like, sure, but I have to stop at the feed store. So one of the first things they said to me, I walked in, I said, "So I'm completely new to goat owning, but I'm getting some goats today. I have this, and this. Is there anything else you can recommend?" And they said to me, "So my first question to you," they said, "why goats? Why would you do that to yourself?" I was
yeah, I remember that.
What? I was so excited, and that just burst my bubble. And you know what? They
haven't been nearly as bad as everybody said they were.
Yeah, you need to fence them in, but right now, our goats that are outside, because we don't have a garden.
I mean, it would help if we fenced them in, only because they wouldn't be roaming around everywhere if we had a garden.
This year sorry.
We want them to clear. And I think that's the only thing that I would recommend is if you don't want them to clear land, make sure and get them a fenced off area, because during the winter especially, they start stripping bark off of trees, which will kill the trees.
Yeah. So make sure there's no trees you want dead around. But right now they never leave our property, never, and they are not they're not caged in. They can, if we have to go out somewhere for like an entire day or something, we can close them in. But for the most part, like, they sit in their shelter. Now, if you have a garden, if you have trees you don't want destroyed, anything like that, yes. And we are going to be fencing them in.
Oh, yeah.
And once we get set up, but we didn't have them fenced in at the other place. They did wreck some of our garden.
Yeah.
And we don't have them fenced in now. They're not like...
But they even said, oh, they'll jump up on your car, they'll wreck this.
They are smaller, though, so maybe the bigger goats
maybe the bigger goats would have.
But, I mean, these guys are... The males are 22 inches high from the spine to the ground.
Like, I found them... Because I left the tailgate down a couple times, and I just have the Colorado. So they were able to jump into the truck bed.
You just said they don't jump in cars.
But they never jumped up onto the hood. If they got into the truck bed, they could totally get on the hood.
The guys we have, like the goats we have there, I don't know if we've lucked out. There are some annoying things, like when you think you have them figured out, they will wreck what you just fixed. But for the most part, yeah, there's 10% that can be like, ugh. But for the most part, they're like dogs.
I think though that's like, you can't say anything out of the ordinary that they wreck anything that a normal animal wouldn't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like dogs can wreck stuff too.
Yeah.
And have.
And yeah, the dogs, see, they help our property. The dogs destroy ours. But anyways, for us, yes, especially in the winter, it gets a little tough because, farm life. But other than that, it's not necessarily because of the goats. It's just because of, farm life more than anything. And so I absolutely love them. And they're all have their own personalities. And, like Timmy, he's the youngest other than the babies that were just born. And he's like the shit disturber. And then like amongst the group. And then there's Aiden, who acts like the godfather. B and Malcolm are like best friends. And June is the crier, but she's a really good mama, so we keep her around. And I forgot about that because we were considering selling her, and then she had the twins. And she's just an amazing milker and an amazing mama. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the comments.
Okay.
Stressing out did not prepare a thing. You still have lots of time. Nigerian dwarf are what I want. Yes, I recommend them. We might have some for sale. I don't know. Ours aren't registered yet, though. Well, registered. Mike and I were talking last night. Do you want to... It's just our fam jam.
What are you referring to?
Oh.
Like taking them in and showing them?
Getting more involved with the goats, like not just having them,
that part of it.
Yeah, not just having them as, like pets and clearers, and thinking about getting more in depth to them.
So
like goat owning.
Yeah, I'm gonna start researching more, and we're gonna try and learn as much as we can, and hopefully we can start being more of a resource.
Yeah. Marilyn, we will try Highland cow. Angie's lasagna, goat milk. Yes, you can try the goat milk as long as you're on the property. I can't you leave with it though. I want to see the baby wearing the sock. Like the jacket. Or maybe are there goat socks? I don't know. And local poutine. Not Putin.
I gotta check and see. Well, no, because it's not that great. But yeah.
Apparently, I was sweet talking
you. Yeah.
Or somebody else was. Gotta wait till the frost is out. Mike, we are that. Wow. Okay, let's catch up. Mike, that's why I said backhoe, because I knew you'd chime in, Darren. 5 weeks and 5 days. I'm starting to go crazy. It'll go awesome. Yes, I think it's going to be awesome, especially with everybody getting together. I think a lot of people are looking forward to it. So,
one tree, one bite.
Can I have the sapling of 2 centimeter diameter to do? Yeah. Well, then if burnt lasagna is the best you've had, honey, like in the lasagna sauce, or just like bam, all in there? In the lasagna sauce. Yeah, in the lasagna, like I make my own sauce from scratch, and basically it's just tomato paste, water, chili powder, salt, pepper, cumin, onions, garlic, and I think that's it. And then honey. And it's a beautiful, like, dark red. And it's very, very tasty. And salt and pepper.
You already said that, I think.
Did I?
How much are you selling the third baby goat for?
I heard Marilyn was looking for a friend on the way. That I haven't even considered right now. I don't even know. But typically, if you were looking for goats, unregistered goats. Sorry, I just saw Miss B doing something. Unregistered goats are anywhere, depending. If they are like a full-bred Nigerian dwarf, they're around 200 to 300, depending. I know during the hype of a season, they can be a little bit more expensive, but they're not too bad. They're not too bad for cost, which is another great thing to them. They don't.
It depends on where you try and pick them up from. I've seen them up to like $400 or $450 down near Kingston once.
Yeah, it does depend.
Yeah.
On where you get them from.
But
the typical, and when they're registered, they can go up to the Nigerians. I believe I've seen them up to like 900.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit more. I haven't looked at the registered lately. But that's another thing that I love about the Nigerian is they're not, they don't take as much to feed either. So you still get your dairy, which for Mike and I we get, when we milk just one goat, we get about 1 liter a day, and that's perfect for us. So the last time we had babies, we only kept one in milk. We kept B, and she gave us about 1 liter a day. And then we moved and we let her dry up because we had a lot going on. And so now I've discovered, though, Miss June, she is the best milker. She's so small, but she's good when you milk her. She's good when you milk her. And she wants to be relieved. She doesn't care. B fights me every time.
Yes, she doesn't like being contained.
No. I'll be alone in the back seat on the way back.
Just kidding.
Yeah, kidding. Hi, Grace. How are you?
Hey, Grace.
I just bought that spice. I don't know how to say it. The first one. I don't know. Garam Malaysia? Masala. I don't know why I said Malaysia. Just masala. Yeah, that sounds right. I just bought that because I made samosas for the first time.
Yes.
And that's an ingredient for it.
They were good too.
Have a good night, Annie. If I thought it was 10 minutes ago, so bedtime for me. Good night, Billy Lee.
Good night.
See you another time.
Livestock in general, why would you do that
to yourself?
Well, it's part and parcel being out on a homestead, I would think.
Not necessarily, but yes.
Yes.
If you want. So livestock, that's probably because of what the guy said for the goats, right? Yeah. So for us, we have, and this isn't everywhere, but we have a wonderful community. And so one of the big struggles with homesteaders is if you need to go away, trying to find someone to watch the homestead is really, really hard. And so the one thing that we are typically not, it doesn't always mesh up, but usually it does. If we need to go away, then we have wonderful neighbors that will watch our homestead. And if they need to go away, same thing. So it's just where we are, we have that blessing. And they're not that bad, and they do not necessarily in the winter, but more 3 seasons out of the year, they do more work for us than we do for them.
It's true. Yeah, that's totally true.
Yeah.
And now that we have the netting and we can kind of contain them in an area, we're really planning on putting them to work this summer.
Yep.
So
getting our chickens for the bugs and everything.
Yep.
We don't have goats anymore. They're different.
You know what? I've seen regular.
Hello, Leanne.
I don't know whatever type of goats they were, but it was a regular sized goat. I've seen those on a different place many years ago, and they act totally different than the Nigerian dwarf. Like
now that you say that,
yeah,
yes, they do. Like yeah.
Like they were, for lack of a better term, shit disturbers, and they would get into stuff. They were bouncing all over stuff, jumping on stuff, and our herd just is kind of crazy calm in comparison to that.
Oh yeah, and they're not the type of goats to run away from you unless they're scared. So if you need to get one, we've never had an issue getting them. We've never had an issue with them like that way, I guess. Oh. So.
Yeah, if I ever had goats to recommend, it would definitely be the Nigerian dwarf.
And we've had a pygmy, and I don't know if it was just him, but he was the shit disturber of the group.
He was, and he
wasn't. That was Mr. Cash, and we found him another home. And once he left, it was just night and day with the herd.
Yep. So calmed right down. Everybody just got along again.
It could have just been that one goat.
Yeah, it could have been.
He was also the coolest too, though, because he was the one, he would dance for you.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Timmy kind of dances for us.
Timmy does a little bit, yeah.
But yeah, no, he just always wanted to fight everything. He was like Bob Probert with horns.
I've had pretty much every kind of critter at one time or another. Each is its own unique pain in the ass. It's true. There are certain things like, like there are certain things about the goats that it's like, but like 5%, 10% is.
I think the worst thing they've ever done to me is when I've been out there trying to feed them or something, and it was slippery out, and all of them rammed into my legs trying to get to the food and knocked me down. And I was laying on the ground yelling.
You falling is just.
No, we're not talking about
yeah, it's okay because he falls all the time. I think my most annoying thing with them.
Ever since I fell for you.
Yeah.
It's just been a habit.
Keep falling. But my most annoying thing with them is like when we were back at the other cabin, we had a barn, like a smaller goat barn, and we sectioned them off. So we had a girl's side and a boy's side. More so when the moms were like after they had given birth. And just when you think you have it locked down that they can't get to each other, that's what I was saying. Like they will destroy what you just made. They will be like, let me show you the fault in what you just made. They will let you know all the flaws with it because they will destroy it. They just when you think, like I remember we made a goat feeder and I'm like, this is perfect. And it just caused nothing but trouble. So as long as you have the proper setup, which is where we always fail to start, as long as you have the proper setup, these guys are, in our experience, in our opinion, they're easy compared to, and I've had a friend with goats and bigger goats, and they were nice, but they are, now that you say that, they do act a lot different. With that being said, they're still goats. So
this summer, though, I'm going over and getting the rest of that steel. So I know he doesn't want it there.
If you look directly into their eyes, you can commune with the devil. Not the Nigerians. Nope. Oh, that was awesome. He was our first super chat too.
Mud is pretty cool.
Yeah. You're all right, Mud. You're all right. On Bead, I've been shoveling and hauling compost and dragging pallets to make a pig pen with today.
Oh, wow.
I deserve a frosty cold drink?
Yes.
I mean... Something. I don't know what that emoji is. The first one.
I can't see it.
Where's your readers?
There's only one eyeglass left in it. It doesn't even work.
No?
No.
I can't see. Maybe it was two. Maybe, yeah, because that's one cold. I mean, two cold ones.
Yeah, I think I put them away.
That's some timers and eyesight go well together. And a nice chat with all of us. Yeah. Love you both. Good night. Good night, Mama.
Going to bed. Good night, all. Everybody's going to bed tonight. It must be one of those days.
It is.
It really is.
And she's going to talk to me about goats tomorrow.
Oh!
Homesteading is easier to get away from than farming. I'd bet on I couldn't imagine having like a grand scale like huge farm. I just couldn't. We would never get away. Oh, look at that. Aww. And another sign that we can tell Ms. B is nearing is she always hates June's kids, and she's like being very, very good with them. And so right now, one of the babies are trying to like headbutt her. And before, with her first round of babies and June's first round of babies, she would just like not care and kind of fling them. And we had to separate them. But now she's being very gentle, and she's like, she'll headbutt, but instead of like going full force, she's like, I'm going to get you.
She's just slowly putting her head down.
Yeah.
That's pretty
cool. That's what makes me think like that she's not in labor. But then when you go and you sit with her and everything else, everything is there. Like, and she'll be fine. And then all of a sudden it's like she's going. So it's probably early. Yeah. But we'll see. We hope that he has neighbors, that very nice neighbors. We help each other do stuff. Same here.
It's small town things, I think. Silly human, I can fix that.
Yeah, slipping in the mud and falling isn't fun. Not at all.
I love it. Silly. That's why I do it so often.
Just read them the roasted goat recipe. It's a balmy 24 here. What is it here?
I don't know.
-9 Celsius.
It got cold.
Yeah, we had really, really nice temperatures.
-9 Celsius, which
so
is...
tell me what it is in Fahrenheit.
I'm getting there.
What do you guys think of sheep? I have no idea. I'm very intrigued by them because there's another channel, Hickory Croft Farm, that has sheep.
It says 16 degrees.
16 here. And yeah, they do a lot with them, and they've definitely got me intrigued. So I don't know anything much about them other than they have really nice wool.
I heard they're bad.
You know, I got to meet Chris and Stephanie's sheep, and I loved them. They were really nice, and they were cute too. And I like that. And I just don't know enough about the farming side of things to make a fair judgment.
Fair enough.
Here I am being like, they were cute.
Avoid Suffolk sheep. Okay.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right.
Bah. Hello, how are you? And I always want to say it, but I feel like I say it wrong. So tell me if I say it wrong. Amphesia. Am I saying that wrong, or am I saying that right? 18 Celsius here. T-shirt weather. 18 Celsius. What?
Wow. Minute at farmhouse. -9 Celsius is 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Ask me how I know. How do you know?
Cheers. You owe me the next bottle of water.
Make you another tea. You like a tea?
I'm still going on this tea.
Get out. Look at that.
What?
My Siri thing turned
Google.
on my voice.
You don't have an iPhone.
Sorry, I'm not. I don't know. I think it said sorry, I'm not Siri. Suffolk. I can't do that.
Suffolk. It sounds like saying another bad word. Amphesia. Am I right? Is that how you would say it? Anvisa. And I just said visa. I'm horrible and I hate butchering names.
Why is that just keep bouncing around?
I don't know. I always convert for my Aussie friends. That's how she knows.
Aha.
64 here. Wow. So I think today's going to be very quick. I think it's going to be a very quick summer soon. Okay. Yes, I got it. Yeah. You know how I found her? I found her on TikTok.
TikTok?
Yes. She's in Alaska in a trailer. And I don't know how you do it because I almost wanted to quit in the pole barn. So, yes. Kudos to you.
Said no worries. You can definitely just call me Annie.
Anne with an E.
Anne with an E.
Michelle's middle name is Anne.
With an E?
With an E. Because my mom has an E on Anne.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Annie is usually Annie. And then our friend Annie is Anny.
Okay.
But that is Anne with an E. Okay.
Okay. Then. I think we're caught up.
I think so.
We got caught up.
Yes.
So go.
Oh, I'm ready to burn this trailer. And then you have Leanne too.
Yep. Leanne.
See?
Remember Leanne?
Not Leanne. It's Leanne with an E. Actually, I think most of the Leannes that I know have an E. So I don't know if Leanne is spelt both ways, but I'm ready to burn this trailer down. Yes, I think you said you were going to be building a cabin soon, or you're looking into it, but I know the prices of wood are really, really high. Because I remember, yes, on TikTok I did. On TikTok, I said our cabin. So with our cabin, we ordered the wood and had it milled at the sawmill. Yep. And then it came delivered like that. So for our cabin,
all we had to do is we had to notch it out.
Notch out what? Oh, for windows and stuff?
And
doors?
When you put the one post down and another log down, you had to notch it out for it.
I thought it was already notched out.
No, it had channels in it so that you could run sealant.
Oh, the channels there, but the notch.
Yeah, but the notches when you make the corners. So we actually had a pattern set up. We'd measure, cut, and then run a few skill saw cuts through it, and then just chunk it out with the.
I remember seeing that now. It was a lot cheaper that way. So I don't know as far as budget what way you're going, but I remember when we looked up log cabin kits, and this isn't for every log cabin kit, but they were looking at like $100,000 to $200,000 for a kit. So for our logs, for 750 square foot, top and bottom was $13,000 with delivery. Or
it's $13,500, but
$13,500 with delivery. And so it was a lot cheaper that way. And it looks great. So I know with our first cabin, it was from wood around where we live, a forest down the road, and they just had it milled and put up. And so as far as cost wise, it was definitely the cheaper way to go. And that was with inflation of the current time we're in.
The last cabin had 10-inch logs, but they were also 10-inch squares. These ones, I think, are only 8-inch, but they're notched, so they fit together better. And so, yeah, it'll be much.
And then there's a strip for weather protection inside, but it was a much better option for cost, right? Leeks, carrots, and onions and rhubarb already pushing up through the ground and growing. Okay, now you're making me jealous. Just in time to say good night just in time to me to say good night, friends. Good night.
Good night.
Are you off? Yeah, we scratched the Barnado for now and going to build a 600 square foot cabin. Nice. It will be much better. Well, thank you, Leanne. Make sure to hit and smash up that like button. It helps the goats.
See, now, this next one, Mud, I actually had an Aunt Leona. And so...
Leonie.
Yep. We always used to call her
Aunt Noni. I remember Aunt Noni.
And she married a Polish fellow. And she would cook the best meals. Oh, and it was like a huge, like, 20-gallon pot of stew. Or she'd have, like, one of the best things? What? Sauerkraut with the sausage. I'm salivating. She'd have sauerkraut and sausage and like all sorts of other. Oh, it's so good.
I never got to try her cooking. So yay! I don't know. No, I didn't mean to say yay. Good. Yes. I ate good too from both my grandparents.
Yes. And
I had an Italian nonnina and nonno. And yeah, the food there, let's just say the food. I just wish.
Don't say that, please. Still have 4 feet of snow here.
Here too. Yeah, Remy sent a picture just the other day the night we went on to his live.
Yeah.
And he was in a snowstorm. And I'm like, that was just a couple, like was it Monday? No, Friday night. I have never seen 4 feet of snow. Come to this side. Come and visit.
I still have
a minute.
An 8 or 9 foot snow hill that I made.
That was his pile over the winter, though.
It's just from the driveway.
Talking to a few wood mill companies, but we already have most of the materials. Just need interior things.
Yeah, I still I have a huge pile of 2x4s still. I still have a pile of 2x6s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pretty much set for interior framing.
Yeah, all that wood we have out there is, I think, enough for the framing.
Yeah. So I mean, next step, we're going to get the windows and doors, so we'll put those in. I can finish framing out upstairs. We need to get the roof, steel for the roof.
Yeah.
And once I get that on and just frame out inside, and I can start cladding. Once it's all sealed up, then I can start cladding the walls upstairs. We can put the I do have to pour concrete for the main floor.
Yeah.
If we're still going to go that way.
See, Miss June is now starting to butt her own kids. Yeah. Angie, I called Bernadine this past week. They said all lids come from the same factory, whether they are sold at Dollarama or Metro. That's awesome. Because I remember somebody was saying, and I can't remember where it was, but all lids, because I just bought a case of Bernadine lids for canning at the dollar store, and they were $2.50, and at Walmart they're like, remember I showed you $5.57 or $4.47. So yeah. It was $2. You basically get two for the price of one. And then somebody had brought up somewhere else that the ones sold at the dollar store could possibly be defective, or they don't have, like, they could be the runoffs or something. So she said she's called Bernadine this past week, and they come from the same factory.
Nice.
That's awesome. Patrick says all this food talk.
I know. It always gets that way on some of these lives, and I start getting hungry again.
Yeah.
Like, I just ate 20 minutes ago.
My daughter, she's older. She started this 21-day challenge, and she has this group, and it's not necessarily geared towards fitness or anything, but it's geared towards, I guess, creating new habits and setting some goals and whatever. And so I made a goal, like, I can't eat past 9:00 or 9. No, I said 9:30. And now I'm sitting here talking about all the food that I'm in love with. And so one of the rules for 21 days is to set a time that you're not going to eat past. And so I'm not going to eat past 9:30.
See, and that's one of the only reasons I can't commit to it. So if I'm making this trip, there's no way I'm not stopping for coffees. And if I get a coffee, I know,
because another one is no fast food.
Yeah, and
which is not hard.
If I get a coffee or something, I might end up with like a donut in my hand, and then it's just gone.
And that's why you can't take me anywhere, because
I'll hit the McDonald's and I'll have like a 20-pack of nuggies. I get the chicken nuggies.
Yeah, I remember I used to say,
candy.
I feel like a chocolate bar. Can you bring me home a chocolate bar? And my problem is, if the food is in the house, I'm going to eat it. And this is before I started losing weight, but I got to pretty much the biggest I'd ever been in my life.
One of the worst.
And if no, let me finish. I'm going to throw you under the bus here. So let me get my thing in. I would ask him, can you bring home a chocolate bar? And the guy would bring home like 6. Now, I understand his heart.
5. I bring home 5. Because I'd eat
his
one on
heart
the drive.
Was in the right place to a point. But now I just don't have anything in the house. And if he wants something, he has to be out of the house. And not that he has to. He's brought stuff home, and I'm like, I don't want it. But I will find candy wrapper bars in the truck after he just went out without me. And I'm like, there was a time where I'd be like, why didn't you bring me home any? And now I'm like, you know what? It's okay there, buddy. It's okay.
But my inner fat kid just yelling at me, come on.
Got several shed kit brackets that you can only have, or that you only have to make straight cuts. You can make them up to 10 feet wide, and you can chain them together and make it as long as you want. So I will just add as I go. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
That is cool. Chrissy loves sauerkraut. My father's German, and my mother's, he loves Estonian. He loves sauerkraut too.
Yes. And
aren't you half German?
Yes, my dad's side. And what was it? Braunschweiger. Braunschweiger was always one of my grandfather's favorite little snacks.
What is that?
Easiest way to describe it, it's like a pate, and he put it on saltine crackers.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It doesn't taste like that.
Okay, it's see? All you have to do next time, if I'm like, I'm hungry, just name that.
Pate? What did you eat? That was like,
It's the texture.
The texture?
Yeah.
But you had never heard of like pickled bologna either.
Pickled bologna doesn't do that for
me. That's so good.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about now that you've said it. It's that pate thing. I know what you're talking about. I just can't do
it. Pate.
Basically, I will make it a long house with greenhouse portion facing the south. That's awesome. I remember when I was a kid in Denver on Christmas night, we got snow. The snow was halfway up the door Christmas morning. We had to dig our way out. Cement is expensive. I would just do a foundation with a wall around and put a nice high crawl space underneath. The problem that we have...
I would have to dig it out.
Yeah, because the problem we have now is when we got the cement pour last time to fill in the those bricks,
the footing,
Fox blocks, there it is. We had them pour the extra stuff in, whatever was left over, and so right now the floor is completely, well, where the floor is supposed to go is completely uneven, and so it would just be, you wouldn't have a crawl space at all. And so we are going to have to put something. We thought about the flooring.
I can put floor joists in and then put like 3/4 ply down, tongue and groove for flooring, like as a subfloor, and then we could do things on top
of it. Good
night, Leanne. But it wouldn't leave really a crawl space unless I dug it out.
It's very good not to eat late.
Now,
yes.
One other thing for the 9 people left hanging out with us today is that I have something crazy cool I want to build this summer. So I got these plates that what they do is you set them at the corner and you like tie a 2x4 into it as you're bracing. And it basically creates like that globe, like a golf ball. Like you see those satellite installations that just have the golf ball around it, where it's like a bunch of triangle panels all over.
The thing we used to climb as kids.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. So I can make
the hexagon,
a dome shaped structure with these plates out of 2x4s or what have you. And so I plan on making something out of it. I'd say I haven't figured out what I want to do with it yet.
Well, I already know, like maybe a goat barn or something, because I already know for the chicken.
Would you want it like a globe?
I don't know. Maybe you know what we'll do? We'll do in the globe, we'll make our own private beach to escape to in the winter.
Like a hot tub?
No. The hot tub is for sore muscles. The beach is for mental health.
How are you going to make a beach in there? You're just going to throw a bunch of sand in there?
No. Have you not seen, like, people have Florida rooms or something where you can actually have like, it's like a greenhouse kind of thing. I know what I'm thinking, but my words aren't meshing. It's a greenhouse kind of thing, and it stays hot in there. And you can go in there, it'd be like 27 degrees in the middle of winter. And you have a nice little pond with sand that we'll just call Florida Beach. And then we can get special dye for the water to make it look like Florida water. Although I'm going to put out my PSA for the people that are still here. I'm only saying it's actually fresh in my memory because
came up on your memories.
Came up on my memories. It was 4 years. Wait, 2003 or 18, 19. Yeah, it was 4 years ago. I went to Florida, shaved my legs, got in the water, and ended up with really bad infection, had to be hospitalized, all that good stuff, just a headache. And so don't shave your legs and go into an open body of water. Shave it the day before. But all right, we've already been on for an hour and 15 minutes. That's crazy. So I'm just going to catch up with the comments, and then I think we're going to say goodnight. My 20-year-old daughter ate all the ribs in the refrigerator. I discovered it when I went to get something for lunch, and those times suck. I remember you guys talking about the Liz last week during Hickory Croft. Yeah, I thought it was Hickory's. Yep.
It's liver sausage?
And then oatmeal cookies last week. Shush. I made oatmeal cookies last week with chocolate chips in it. Oh, stop it. See, I don't eat pork, so I know what you're doing there. And no, I don't eat pork, so that didn't get me. Now he's talking about food.
What?
Trying to make me hungry again.
Oh.
Yeah, he was talking about ribs. Pork doesn't do it for me. And oatmeal, you know what'll do it for me? Oh, I'm thinking it worked. He made me think of it. One of my favorite things, and I don't even think I have any of it, so it doesn't matter, is the salad I grew up with from the Italian side. And so it's olive oil, vinaigrette, and salt and pepper. They use wine vinegar. I use balsamic. You guys want to try something good? Try that. I'm not even going to read Mud's comment or Crucy's.
Brunschwager.
Okay, well, I like Mud again. Liver is evil.
I punished mine for it.
Your pate has some booze mixed in with it.
That's the best comment I've read all week.
Geothermal dome. See?
Geodesic dome?
Okay. Yes, they actually, when I was in Florida, they actually thought, no. Okay, so I'm going to make it quick. So I woke up one day, I had red marks on my foot. They really felt off. I told Mike right away, this feels different. I don't know what it is, but it feels different. And then as the day got on, I couldn't walk a lot. Like it hurt to actually. So if this is your foot here, let's see. If this is your foot here, up by your ankle, but into your leg, putting pressure on there really, really, really hurt me. And so it hurt me like really bad. And so I told Mike, I think I need to go see a doctor because something doesn't feel right and it's wrong. And so we called our insurance, and because we were Canadian, and so we had to do traveler's insurance, and they told us where to go. So we went to a walk-in clinic, and by the time we got there, it was beet red and it was like spreading. And he goes, well, I'm going to give you some antibiotics. Are you sure it's not a burn? And I'm like, why would it be there and nowhere else? And so then he's like, okay, well, here's what's what. If it starts to blister, you need to rush yourself to an emergency room. So I was like, oh, okay. So I started taking the antibiotics like that day. We
traced it too.
Yeah, we drew a line around it. The next day, it was our flight back to Canada. And so I woke up at 4:30 in the morning in excruciating pain. And I was like, I got it. I couldn't sleep anymore. So I went to the bathroom, had a shower. I looked down at my foot. My foot was blistering. And so I was like, oh my dear God. So I could barely, like Mike had to help me to the car, help me through the airport. And then I faked it going through TSA. And as soon as, because I didn't want them to think it was, something else and not fly home. And so I went home. And as soon as because we flew from Florida to Buffalo, And then we drove home from Buffalo to Ontario. And as soon as we got into Ontario, we went right to the hospital. At first, they didn't think much of it. They left me in the waiting room for hours. I get called back, and my doctor, or the doctor, was like, when did you draw the line that I'm seeing? And I said, just a few hours ago. And so right away, he like ordered, I remember the receipt tape. I can't even put it on camera.
Yeah, they have almost stickers for every like piece of paper that has an order on it. They're like, this test, this test. It was like, I don't know, 2 feet long.
Yeah, at least. And so they took all these tests, my blood work, my everything, my swabs, everything was sent to like universities and all that stuff. And I can't remember. So then from there, I was left in the ER for 3 days. And you know, I'm going to say this now that I'm out and now that I'm fresh. I've said this to family and friends. I can't tell you. I told them if I require painkillers, I only have ever had morphine, and that's, I don't care if it's a small dose. Like, I don't like drugs that make me like, woo. And he wasn't allowed to stay the night because it was in the ER and I didn't have a room. So I said, if you give me anything, I only like morphine. Not like, but I have only taken morphine. I've never taken Percocets, and I don't want to take Percocets. And they were trying to force me and convince me to take Percocets. And I was like, I don't want Percocets. I've never been on them. I've had Vicodin once in my life, and half a pill knocked me out for 24 hours. I'm very sensitive. But anyways, that was another story. So 5 days later, long story long. Sorry, guys. And so I was in the hospital for 5 days. They pumped me so full of medicine that the infectious disease doctor actually fought with another doctor because they were going to send me home with another round of the exact same antibiotics. And I remember hearing him in the hallway, you've already killed her immune system. You can't send her home with all of these drugs. Then I because of everything they gave me, it created, I don't know.
Like thrush in your throat.
No, in the esophagus.
In your esophagus.
So it's not like the throat, you get sore.
It was crazy.
I couldn't swallow.
It knocked out all of like her good bacteria in her system. And it was just, it wrecked her system.
For months, I was in recovery.
Like, you were never sick really before that, and you got like sick
everything under the sun
that year or something like that.
I got the stomach flu, sinus infection, pneumonia, all within 6 months of this ordeal. A cold and something else. But yeah, it was like one of the worst times, because if it was just that incident, you know, I tend to bounce back pretty good. And so if it was just that incident, fine. But then it was one after another. So yeah, bottom line is don't shave, or if you have a fresh wound, don't go into a body of water. And within a year after that, I can't tell you how many cases I saw of flesh eating, but that's what they started treating me for right away. Thank God it wasn't that bacteria, but it was serious enough that it was documented and all this other stuff. So yeah, anyways, okay. I bored Remy to sleep. Just kidding. T-bone steaks, thick. I see, but it's okay. I started talking about flesh eating, so I'm good now. Good thing it wasn't the VA. You would need months for an appointment. That's same with Canadian healthcare.
Morphine isn't that far behind Percocet, depending on strength.
Yeah, no, I don't like a lot. Like, I think it was 0.5 milligrams is what I had gotten. And I told them, because they kept trying to offer me, after I got another nurse, she kept trying to offer me 2. And I'm like, no, what you gave me last night, that was good. I don't like those type of drugs. I don't like, especially if you're not there or someone to advocate for me, because I am totally.
It still kind of blows my mind that I was able to walk into a walk-in clinic. I mean, it was in my doctor's office, really, downstairs, but I was able to walk into my doctor's office in the clinic and say, my back's out. I need some heavy pain meds. Give me something. And they gave me, like, what was it? Codeine, T3 codeine or something T3, like that.
I don't even like those.
No, it hit my stomach like a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Like the only reason I requested morphine too was because I had it previous, and I knew it didn't completely mess me up, but it helped me sleep. And so I just remember the nurse saying, like, are you sure you don't want to try Percocet, hun? And I'm like, no, I don't.
They're
and then
so addictive.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of my things is that I don't want to get, if I can help it, I don't want to have to go down that road, because
that's the only thing I've ever gotten hooked on is Percocets.
Yeah. And that was
after my first surgery.
Yeah.
And just like Rem said there.
The pills that he got after the second surgery.
God, they gave me so many narcotics. Yeah. I don't even remember.
Yeah. I won't take painkillers either. I'm afraid I will like them too much. And that was the thing. I knew with morphine, I hit a certain point where I didn't want it anymore. And so that's kind of what I had the mentality of. And I tried it and I knew it didn't completely mess me up. On Vicodin, like I said, half a pill, because I had surgery when I lived in the States and they sent me home with Vicodin, and I didn't know what I know now. And I knew I was sensitive to things. So I was like, I'll take half. Literally, he had to wake me up to go to the bathroom and drink water because I was out for 24 hours.
See, I take care of you.
You take care of me.
I take care of you.
So a lot of big drug addicts started off after a surgery or an accident. And that was one thing I had to watch. Not had to, but I just, because I knew about his previous injury and surgery. And so I just made sure.
Oh, no, that'll never happen again.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would, but nobody walks into painkillers saying, I'm going to become.
I know. When I had, after having it done it once, and I just threw them away as soon as I realized what was happening, I've always been very aware of it and very cautious.
When I had my work accident in 2008, I had so many different types of painkillers without any problems. See, and that, like, for me, I'm super sensitive.
Ha! Rem stayed for the whole story. That's my boy.
I had lost my right leg below the knee. Oh, wow. And still accidentally or occasionally take pain meds for it. Yeah. And there is a time and a place for it, for sure. I just know both of us we can get, not that we get addicted, but we have addictive personalities to a point, right? So like, even for silly things like a movie or a TV show, if we're into it, we go into it hard. And so knowing that about me and knowing that I had morphine before, I just knew that was the safest bet. But if I got something like Percocet, first of all, if he wasn't going to be around for the night, which they'd already said he couldn't, I wouldn't have been coherent at all, which to some people that might be a nice thing, but my brain just doesn't like it. Yeah. And neither does my body. And then if I get scared when I'm in that state, that was one of the biggest things as to why, I think, because I've been scared in that state before with the Vicodin. And I remember feeling like, oh no, I don't want to fall asleep. Oh no, I don't like this feeling. And then I was just out. And then when he woke me up to go to the bathroom, same thing. So, but yeah. Oxycodons are bad. Codeines are bad. I've never had problems with oxy. That's good. Vicodin equals Percocet equals. Yep. When I had my kidney stones, I took Demerol and Dilaudid. The body breaks morphine down into oxycodone and then breaks it down into morphine. Well, I'm not on morphine now.
All right. Well, it's about time to take the dogs out.
Yes, they tell us when it's time to end it, because they're like, okay, guys, I'm up walking around. Let's go. But yeah, I didn't even mean to get in that conversation. My whole PSA was make sure if you have an open wound, even they
don't
said
shave your legs.
Don't shave your legs they said any open body of water can actually do it.
Yes, as long as the bacteria resides in the water.
Yes. Yes, that is very thankful or very good. I don't have any prescriptions and I never have. That's awesome.
Good for you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, on that note,
you can hear her tail thumping on the wall.
Yeah, that's her tail. Wish us luck for baby goat, but I mean,
come on, babies.
She looks normal right now.
She stopped, like she was chewing.
Yeah.
And she stopped and looked at me like, what?
She can hear us too.
Yes, I'm talking to you. Okay.
All right, guys.
thank you all for joining us tonight. Thanks for hanging out. We had a great time.
Talk about work tonight. Go to sleep, Remy. You have permission now.
As always,
take care.
And God bless.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.